Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a survey to get unbiased opinions from your customers after they purchase. You'll be able to use these results to fix bugs on your site, make new product decisions, and make improvements across your site. Process is super simple, takes about 10 minutes. And then once we're done, I'll pull out some results from an existing survey that I set up for a client. And I'll show you how to process those results and kind of like interpret what's going on. So stay tuned, this should be a fun one. Okay, so the first thing you'll want to do is jump into your store. I'm just going to use a development store for this example. So this is our Clean Commit development store. This will help because I can put orders through without having to actually pay for them, and I can show you stuff without having to hide all of the details. So the first thing you'll need to do is install a survey app. There's a ton of these around. The one I use is called Zigpoll, and it's pretty good. It's got quite a lot of functionality. I chat with the owner every now and again, and he's a nice guy. So if you jump in here and go to Zigpoll, that will take you to the Zigpoll page, and then you just need to install it. Okay, so I'm going to take you around Zigpoll. Now, I've set up an existing survey, but I'll take you through the process of creating a new survey. So what you want to do once you've installed the app and it's running on your store, just find it, which you can do by coming up into the main bar up here and just searching for it. Once you open it up, it'll open up this third-party website, and you'll see a dashboard, and I don't think it has anything in there by default. So the first thing you want to do is click this new survey button. You want to pick post-purchase for all customers. So this one down here, and then we'll call this demonstration post-purchase survey. If I can type properly. Okie dokie. So the first one we want to do is a long answer. Slides for Zigpoll are essentially the frames, or it's like a little iframe thing where each slide is a different page. We only want one question and then a thank you page. So the main question is going to be, what almost stopped you from purchasing today? So this question, the wording is really, really important because we are asking people after the fact whether there was some friction that came along that almost got in their way. And asking them right after they've made the purchase is the best time to get an unbiased opinion because they've just fought through that friction and they've got to the other side. Often they'll say price or nothing, and you can pretty much exclude those answers from your analysis, but often they'll give you a very honest appraisal of something that they found quite frustrating, and they managed to find a way around it. But there's for every one customer who manages to get around that thing, there's probably 3 or 4 that didn't. So that's why this wording is important. What almost stopped you from purchasing today? Additional copy, we don't need it. Placeholder text is good, so give your honest answer here. That's fine. And then for the fine print, we can say, we'll use your answer to improve the store. Or, yeah, that's fine. So you just want to tell people why you're collecting this information. I think if you can be as transparent as possible and answer all of their questions, then you remove that friction where they have doubts in their mind as to whether they should fill in this question or not. And it's also really important just to have one question. The more questions you have, the more steps there are. As with anything on the web, the lower likelihood that people actually complete it. So make it really easy, make it super simple for them. Just give them one open-ended answer, and the chances of them completing it are going to be much higher. So now we need to go through and adjust some of the settings. So we'll just create this slide. Well, actually, we'll create the next slide. Good, so this is hidden. We don't want to turn this on at the moment. So that's all good. We need to add one more slide. This one's going to be a thank you. And it can just say, thanks for filling in the survey. We appreciate you taking the time, and we'll aim to be better. Aim to become even better in the future. Cool. That's pretty much it. So we'll create this slide. Great. So now it goes, question, what almost stopped you from purchasing today? When someone fills it in, we just thank them. So we now need to go and edit some settings for this, this survey. So I'm just going to jump back into, yep. Now, just make sure this is off. That's good. We'll go through and adjust the settings in here. So first thing, we've got a name, we've got an ID, which is not really necessary for this tutorial. That's fine to manually toggle this on and off. Don't need to duplicate. We don't need to import response data because we're not migrating from another survey. So we'll go down to delivery. So we'll use a template for this. So because Zigpoll is now installed on your Shopify store and it has access to your post-purchase location, you can use a template. If you're doing this through something that's not Shopify, then you'll need to do it yourself and embed well, I guess if you're not doing it through Shopify, then the installation process I've shown you so far probably won't work. But you can go and change the location if you have a custom setup. If you have a headless store or you have non-standard thank you routes, then you can determine where the survey should show with those rules. But for this purpose, we're just going to leave it here because 99% of stores just run with the standard setup, so you can just use the template. We're going to show this to all customers because we want to get as much data as possible. Visibility strategy. So hide immediately when closed, even if not completed. Yep, hide immediately when closed and completed. So I think this top one is fine. Yeah, all of this is fine. So you can just leave the defaults here. We'll go down to the next one. So submission rules, allow edits. We don't really want people editing their submission after they put it in. It's not important, and we want them to be honest. Automatically move to the next slide. Yep, that's good. We want that to happen. These other two can stay off. Email if survey is partially completed, and then just check your email address in here. So next, actions to take when a survey is fully or partially completed. Analyze the sentiment. Yeah, that's fine. You can send a follow-up email to the respondent, although they might get a little bit annoyed because it's not a high priority survey, so I would probably leave that one off. Save responses. Yep, this is all good. So you can leave the defaults there and move on to the next bit. Targeting 100%. You don't have to send it to 100% if you don't want to, but for this survey, I would suggest doing this because you do get a lot of good information. You can leave all of these defaults unless you want to show the survey to people from particular areas or need to target particular groups of people. And that's a pretty unique use case, so I'm going to leave that one as it is. Language. This is not really super important, so we'll leave that one. And the design, I don't care too much about this design because I think it looks fine as it is. You can adjust the styling to match your typography and your store's theme, but it's fine to look a bit injected. So that's pretty much it. Once you've got that done, then you pop the toggle on, and this will show on your website, and it's going to show exactly like this. I actually can't show you what it looks like on the website because my dev store is refusing to cooperate. But what I can do is export some of the results that we've seen from this survey and show you how to analyze them. So stay tuned and we'll jump into that bit in a second. Okay, so I've exported a bunch of results from survey results from one of our clients. Now, because this one's kind of hard to emulate without having actual data. Oops, get out there. And what I'm going to do now is drop this into ChatGPT. I use Claude more than ChatGPT, but for the sake of doing this quickly, GPT it's quick. It's pretty quick. I think it's actually even quicker than Claude. So what I'll do is I'll grab this file, just drag this off screen so you don't have to watch me play around with it. I'm just going to put this in here. Now, the prompt I want to give it, I'm actually going to tell ChatGPT what's going on and give it the prompt at the same time. So, hey ChatGPT, what I want you to do with this CSV is analyze the trends that are happening across these survey responses. For some context, we have set up a post-purchase survey that asks customers one question, which is, what almost stopped you purchasing today? The objective of this survey is to understand what friction we've accidentally added to the website, or which friction these customers may be dealing with, in an attempt to track it down and solve it. So what I want you to do is analyze the patterns that are happening across this information, aggregate the responses, and figure out which ones are talking about the same problem, and then rank the problems from 1 to 10, or depending on how many problems there are, you can keep going, but no more than 20 problems. And for each problem, I want you to record how many customers reported that issue. So with that, please go and analyze the information. Okay, so this will take a second, but the idea here is that we not only want to find the patterns that are in the data, but we want to figure out which ones are the most important. Because if you have a lot of survey responses and a lot of customers, then you'll find that there's probably a lot of different problems that they're noticing, or different points of friction, and you can't do everything. So you need to prioritize. You need to figure out which ones are actually having the most impact, and then chase after them first. So we'll give ChatGPT a second to figure this out, and then we'll jump into the results. Okay, so ChatGPT has figured things out, and it's given it its usual over enthusiastic answer. So I'll just see if I can zoom in here. The TLDR, the too long didn't read, is that shipping is the big thing for these guys. Logistical uncertainty and feedback points to lack of trust, product quality, or brand confidence problems. So, yeah, never take an LLM for its predicted improvement in metrics. But let's have a look. So, ranked friction themes. Number 1, shipping and delivery limitations reported by 85 customers. That's significant because I think there was about 200 or fewer than 200 form submissions. Don't ship to the UK. So that's not something that we can solve. Don't ship to the US. That's not something that we can solve. Delivery options were poor. That is something that we can solve. Cannot deliver to my location. Freight wasn't clear. So the website needs to do a much better job of explaining shipping. I think shipping is the biggest problem by far for these guys, and ChatGPT has backed that up. So when I work with these guys to figure things out and build a path forward for improving their conversion rate, shipping is going to be top of the agenda because it is having an impact everywhere. Number 2, discount promo code issues. So this is a bug. Discount code didn't work. Couldn't apply promo. Expected a discount but didn't get one. That's a big deal as well. People will bounce and disappear if they expect to get a discount and they don't. Price sensitivity. So we're getting down to the lower end of things. If you compare how many people said shipping, 85, to how many people said price, there's only 9. So too expensive. You will see this one. I usually ignore this unless it is right at the top of the list, in which case you can run some price testing, which I have spoken about separately to this video. Let's keep going down. Checkout or payment friction. That's an easy one to solve. Minor technical or clarity issues. Yeah, so this one, I think we've actually solved this for these guys, but that's a good, easy, low-hanging fruit problem. Need shipping quote before purchase. That relates to shipping again. Stock availability. That really is logistics and shipping. Product selection confusion. That's probably something that we can tackle as well. Late stage price surprises. Yeah, this one has been solved, but adding prices after making your prices not transparent is not great. So anyhow, so I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can see that this one is the one that needs to be fixed because it relates to so many customers. But we might not have known the difference between the priority of shipping versus discount promo code issues. I know the business they're aware of this issue, but I don't think they're aware that it's like that big a problem for them. So that's how you do it. That's how you set up a survey on Shopify and then go and interpret the results. You can dive even deeper into this process. Another thing that I really like doing is doing this same process, but for reviews that customers leave on products. It's almost exactly the same process. You export your reviews from whichever platform you're using. You chuck them into ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, what's the Twitter one, Grok, whatever. So you can chuck them into whichever LLM you want, and then just essentially ask it to aggregate the results and pick out the patterns and give you a number of responses that fall into each group. And that will help you prioritize the fixes or the changes that you need to make. So that's it for this one. I hope you got some value from this, and stay tuned because I've got some more cool CRO lessons coming up.